So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Member Cafe. We're going to wait just a few minutes before we get started, watching our numbers tick up for everyone logging in. So just give us a few moments. All right, so good afternoon. I have just a minute or so after 1, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Ann Gluff, and I am part of the member engagement team here at Partners. And also joining me today is Beth Brooks, also part of member engagement. She is our behind the scenes Zoom guru. She is going to make sure everything runs nice and smooth for us. And then, of course, we have our guest speaker, Stacy Harward. I'm going to introduce her in just a moment. So let me give you a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. So one thing, I want to let you know that this session is being recorded. So if you choose to go off mute and ask a question during the session, just make sure you don't share any personal information. We are available, the member engagement staff are available to talk with you one-on-one about your family member or member that you're concerned about or a concerning question. So just wanted to let you know that. Also wanted to let you know that we are running the captions for you today as well. So if you don't need those captions, if you look towards the bottom of your screen where it says show captions, you should just be able to click on that and toggle that off. So if that wording on the screen is just interrupting you. 2 other things for you. One, the chat today is you're going to receive information through the chat from us. Great information, could be contact information, welcome information, etc. Things for you to copy and paste. But if you have questions during the session, I encourage you to use what's called the Q&A feature. And that's right on the screen, right next to your chat. Because what we're going to do is go through the presentation and have our guest speaker complete her presentation before we go to the Q&A, and we'll make sure that everyone gets their questions answered. And again, you can pop them into the Q&A, or at that time you can use the raise your hand feature, which is also at the bottom of the screen, part of the reactions. So with all of that information, I think I've covered everything. So what I'd like to do right now is introduce our guest speaker. So today we have Stacy Harward, excuse me. She is part of the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Community Engagement and Empowerment Team. And she is a community engagement specialist. And today she is going to share strategies to stay well and how wellness affects everything around you about your life. So welcome, Stacy. We're going to let you share your screen now and take it from there. While Stacy's getting ready to share her screen, I'll just let you know that once Stacy is done and we've got past her questions, I'm going to share some additional information about partners. So take it away, Stacy.
Okay, thank you so much, Ann. Like Ann was saying, I'm from the Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Mental Health, IDD, and Substance Use. We're the Community Engagement Empowerment Team. So we usually do this in person and we ask for feedback. So can I give this a go? Nope. Okay. So this is our division's priorities. We have behavioral health and resilience, child and family well-being, and strong inclusion of workforce. So if you ever come up to the Bath building, you'll see posters about all this in there. And we try and gear all our work to accommodate these priorities. If you want to stay in touch with us, with the Department of Health and Human Services, here are 3 ways. You can do Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. And here are your learning objectives for the day. This 8 dimensions of wellness. We're going to kind of briefly go over those, learn how wellness supports overall health, and provide you some tools in managing your wellness. If you would, I want y'all to think about what wellness means to you. This is generally where we ask what it means, but y'all think about it. And think about what your definition would be of what wellness means to you, because it's not the same for me as it is for you. But wellness is defined by a dictionary as the quality or state of being healthy in body and mind, especially as a result of deliberate effort. So you can take that and you can realize that, you know, your wellness really is your mental health wellness, your spiritual wellness, your physical wellness. It's everything that touches your life. And if it's not healthy for you, if it's not making you happy, sometimes we just have to cut strings. We got to get rid of that, so that we can become personally well. Wellness is not the absence of disease, illness, or stress, but it's the presence of having a positive purpose in life, being joyful in your relationships, be satisfied with your work and play, healthy body and living environment, and happiness. You think about how much time we spend at work. If you have a regular job, it's 8 hours, and you're spending 8 hours with people. If it's like all of us who work, you know, sometimes 10, 15 hours a day, we're spending more time with the people we work with than with our own families. So you have to be satisfied. It has to bring you joy. No, not every day is going to be joyful, and there will be days that you're ready to rip your hair out, but overall, is what you're doing a positive, happy experience. So here are the 8 dimensions of wellness by SAMHSA. And so we're going to talk about a lot of these. Trust me, I'm not getting into financial because not my forte. I'm a social worker. So emotional wellness, that's the first dimension. And it talks about coping and effectively living your life and creating a satisfied relationships. Sometimes we have people around us that we enjoy, but they're not healthy. We have to make a judgment call that says, I can still be friendly, but you know, I'm not bringing that into my life. Express your feelings to people you trust. You have to be able to talk with people. You have to be able to not hold everything in, because that will eventually weigh you down. Seek support and emotional support when you need it. Don't always be giving, because if you continually give, your cup is going to become empty, and you're not going to have anything to give, and you're not going to be healthy, and you won't be able to take care of yourself. Spiritual wellness, that it's whatever spiritual means to you. You got your intellectual wellness. We have to learn something. We are not made to be stagnant in our life. Make sure you're reading interesting things, or you're learning a new language, or you're learning something new in your profession that excites you. Physical wellness, yeah, we have to get outside. We have to move our bodies. We need to eat healthy, which some days is very hard for us. Some days it's just it gets into that financial. So sometimes eating healthy is highly expensive, and we have to make our judgment calls in that area. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Seeing your primary care provider on a regular basis, not just when you get ill. Because in order to stay healthy, they've got to be able to monitor certain things, your blood pressure, your mood, if you have diabetes, your blood sugars. Then we have environmental wellness. And that, I think, probably plays a huge part in our lives, because if your environment isn't healthy, you're not going to be healthy. So you have to achieve good health by being around a pleasant environment. And so if your home looks like a disaster area hit it, like you've just moved in and it's still a disaster area, take one area of it and work on that and get it back into to straightness. Your bedroom is a good place to start. If your bedroom is calm, your day is going to start off calm. You're going to sleep better. So it doesn't mean you have to go in and spring clean your entire place. If your apartment building that you're living in, or your neighborhood might need a little sprucing up, maybe see if you can get a neighborhood group together to go outside and take care of it. If you've got elderly people living in your neighborhood that can't mow their lawn anymore, offer to help them. Make sure you're appreciating nature, that you're getting out in it and letting it soothe your soul, whether that be the beach, the mountains, the woods. You just go for a nice walk out every day just to get some fresh air. So you got social wellness, developing a sense of connection, belonging. And so we all live in our little bubbles. And sometimes we just go in and out of our homes and we never meet our neighbors. Make sure you're having your social be healthy also. Meet your neighbors. You may need them one day. Not only that, you may need to know who's living next door to you or down the street. So just try and join a new club. So we want to work on the whole person, not just, oh, I got to go work out, or I've got to start eating healthy, or I need to drink 8 glasses of water every day. It's the whole person. Pick an area and let's make that a habit. And then once you get comfortable with that, add in some others. So think about whether or not how you feel if you have a good grasp on all 8 of the wellness. And if you do, give me a call, because I need to know how you're doing. Because I don't have a grasp on all 8, but make sure you're touching it. But think about it, see where you are and what you feel like you need to maybe improve on. So with wellness, like I've said, all 8 dimensions play a role in our healthy lifestyle. Kind of like juggling balls. We may not have all 8 of them up. We may have 1 going and we're good. We may get 2 going. Great. If you have talent, you might get 3 going at the same time. But just work on it and make sure that you're feeling more fulfilled. So wellness can improve quality of life and increase years of life. So your past does affect your present, and it does affect your future. So if you're holding on to things that are weighing you down, is it something that you truly need to carry with you? Or can you put it in your little red wagon that's behind you and say, you know what? Not today. I'm not carrying that baggage today. And go and have a much easier, more carefree, not carefree, but lighter day than if you brought everything that's in your little red wagon with you. So if your your mental health, your developmental disabilities, and your substance use disorders, those that have any of those issues, that it doesn't mean you can't have a well life. You can always having diagnosis of mental health, substance use, or IDD, you can have more of a quality of life by just focusing on areas that you need to improve on that are bothering you, and you can say, okay, I'll work on this area and make myself a little bit better today. Routine is always a good thing. Self-care. How many of us actually practice self-care? Think about it. We say we're going to practice self-care. Do we schedule ourselves in our calendar? Or is your calendar full from 7 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock when it's time for you to go to bed? Because that is after the kids are down, the dishes are done, the husband or wife or girlfriend, everybody's taken care of. But have you taken 30 minutes out of your day to spend on you? Whether it be you just go outside and read a book, you go outside and just sit, listen to some good music. Make sure that you are scheduling time for you. You know, we put everything else in the calendar. We need to put that. And we need to make sure that we're going to bed at a decent hour. Easier said than done, yes, I know. But if you need a gentle reminder, we set alarms to get up in the morning, right? Why not set an alarm to go to bed? 9:30, I'm going to read for 30 minutes and then I'm going to be asleep. I'm going to go to bed by 10 o'clock, but I'm going to take that 30 minutes and wind down. Set your alarm to remind you, 9:30, no more work. Some quiet time for me. Do any of you do breathing exercises? That helps, especially in the middle of the night. If you wake up and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I haven't answered, 15 emails I was supposed to answer today, and your mind starts racing, you think I got to get up and just breathe. Relax your tongue. That's much harder than we think. If your tongue is on the roof of your mouth, try to relax it so that it's not touching the roof of your mouth. And that helps you relax all over. Also very, very typical. Think about some of the things that you do for self-care. For me, I take my dog, Jack, and we go for walks. Sometimes he's pulling me, so it's more of him taking me for a walk than me taking him, but we go for walks. So your physical health, get active, whatever it may be. Don't go spend thousands of dollars in a gym or buying equipment. Go for a walk. Do whatever makes you happy, just to get your muscles moving. Find a healthy weight for you. Not everybody needs to be a size 10. We weren't made that way. Find what makes you feel healthy. If it's a size 16, great. That's just a number. If you're healthy and you feel good, okay. Mind your metabolism. Sometimes we get up and we start moving so fast, we forget to take care of ourselves as far as eating breakfast or drinking a smoothie. If we don't do things, our metabolism gets tanked. So we need to make sure that we're getting our smoothie or our breakfast, whatever it may be, as you're feeding whoever else you need to feed. Start building healthy habits. This is not a marathon. I mean, it's a marathon. It is not a foot race. It's not first person across the line wins the gold medal. Just do something healthy for yourself on a daily basis and think about, okay, I'm comfortable doing whatever I'm doing now. I'm going to add 5 minutes and see if that helps. You may be walking 30 minutes before you know it. Mental health. we all need to be mindful of our mental health. I'm thankful to say that I feel that that bosses across the nation are taking more of an active role of knowing that their employees, people, yourself, your children need a mental health day. Now you can't take a mental health day, every other day or every Friday, but take a mental health day if you need it. Check in on yourself. Make sure that you are okay inside. Doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. Doesn't mean that you're not going to have bad days or sad days. But if you're not taking care of your mental health, you need to start. You need to recognize if you're feeling depressed, if you need help with anything. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with saying, I'm having a little depression here. Self-care can support your mental health. So once again, everything is coming together. All those 8 dimensions work as one in our bodies. So support your treatment and recovery of your mental illness if you have one. For me, I have depression. For me, I'm a 28, 29-year veteran social worker. The stigma is real. It took me probably 2 months to go to my doctor to say, hey, I'm having a hard time with depression. It took me to go into Starbucks and not being able to get my coffee the way I wanted it. And I had gotten it yesterday that way. And today they said they couldn't make it. It wasn't done. And I cried from where I live all the way into Raleigh, which is about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, depending on who decides to wreck where on I-40. And when I got here, I thought, you need to go to the doctor because this is not healthy. This is not right. So I get it. It's hard to say I need help because we help everybody else. We're helping our kids. We're helping our husband, our wives, our teammates, the church, brownies, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, whatever. We're putting ourselves out there, but we're not saying I need some assistance. So make sure you're taking care of that. Recovery. I want everybody everywhere to understand that recovery is possible. It's not going to look the same for me as it is for you. It's not going to be the same for your neighbor as it is for the principal of the high school. But recovery is possible. It's the process of change through which individuals improve their health and wellness. They live a self-directed life and strive to reach their full potential. They strive. It doesn't mean they're automatically going to meet their full potential, but they're working towards it, and that's all it is. So, just remember that recovery is possible in any situation. And you just have to build upon your environment, your health, your home, purpose, community. When should you seek professional help? Should I have waited 2 months and a coffee that broke me and drove 2.5 hours to Raleigh on I-40 crying like a baby? No. If something is affecting your life for 2 weeks, causing you trouble sleep and causing your eating habits to change, you're struggling with work, you're struggling with keeping all your balls up in the air. If that's going on for 2 weeks, you need to go see your primary care physician. You need to go speak to somebody and say, hey, I'm having these issues, and let them help you. Sometimes it's just having a counselor or a friend just to sit down and talk, but you need to check it out with your doctors. Everybody knows about our suicide prevention lifeline, 988. Here it is. Got the website for you. Your social health, got to be making connections, got to be meeting people. You can't spend your whole life taking care of everybody else and lose your support team. Because what happens when those people that you're taking care of go away, pass away, move, don't need you anymore? You've built your whole life around that. Now what you gonna do? So make sure you're out there and you're making care of yourself, even when you're caregiving for others. Make sure you're building healthy relationships. And it's not just the pharmacist or the ER doctors or the ambulance drivers. Make sure you're building healthy relationships that will carry on with you. That's not going to work. Okay, community inclusion. Got to get to the right page. So community includes the opportunity to live and exist as a contributing member of society. Is that not what we all want to do? We all want to be in a community that's inclusive. We always talk about it, but if you think about how many of your neighbors is it really being inclusive? Are you being inclusive? Are you being included in your neighborhood? If you've moved in and the whole neighborhood knows everybody, but nobody talks to you, yeah, you got the house, but now you don't have anybody in your neighborhood. So make sure you're reaching out to both so that you're building that inclusion in the community, making sure that you can be part of the groups that make decisions for that community, whether it be the Kiwanis Club or the home association or your church group. Find where you fit in and make yourself part of that. Health is a state of body, wellness is a state of being. I like that statement because it is, your health is your state of your body, and wellness is your being. It's not all inclusive. It's not one thing or another. It's your whole person. We've talked about getting regular exercises, getting enough sleep, a healthy diet. There's so many out there. We're hit, you go on Instagram, Facebook, they're telling you got to eat this, you can't eat that, you got to eat all meat, you got to eat all vegetables, can't touch milk, dairy. Find what's healthy for you. You and your doctor discuss it, making sure you connect with others. If you're smoking, don't. That is by far the most healthy thing you can do for yourself, because your lungs will start to repair themselves. For every what is it, every 15 days your lungs improve. You need your lungs. And if you're feeling full of smoke, you're going to hurt them. Make sure you drink plenty of water. I see people walking around with these 2-gallon things of water. I do not know how they drink 2 gallons of water and continue to work, because I would have to just be in the bathroom. But drink water, because our body is 90% water and we've got to refill it. That's our gas. We gotta have fuel. We gotta have food. We gotta have water. Make sure you're taking steps to do that. If you're drinking sodas, cold drinks, Cokes, whatever you call them, sugar drinks, if you're drinking your calories, You need to start reducing that. Go to unsweet tea. Yes, I know, a lot of times. But go to unsweet tea, put some lemon in it. Just start weaning off of some of the caffeine and some of the sodas, cold drinks that we drink. We want to create balance in our lives. We want to embrace those who are supporting us. Value our routines and habits, and compassion and empathy for all. Be sensitive to your feelings. Be sensitive to others' feelings. Have empathy for yourself. Have grace for yourself. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself first. Kind of like they tell you on an airplane, if the oxygen fall down, put your mask on first and then help somebody else, because you're not getting your oxygen, you're not going to be able to help somebody. Make sure you are taking care of you first. That's not to say you're going to neglect everybody else, but you're going to put your priority, your number one priority should be you. Because if you're not healthy, if you're not on solid ground, you are not going to be able to help others. So this is my favorite thing. I want everybody to picture a hula hoop. You're standing in the middle of a hula hoop. What's inside that hula hoop? That's your responsibility. What's outside that hula hoop is not your responsibility. And it can be you decide what's in your hula hoop and what's outside your hula hoop. Your hula hoop moves with you. Don't let somebody climb inside your hula hoop and bring their problems to you and leave them. Keep your hula hoop for you. Keep your responsibilities is what you can control. Words, activities, your ideas, your mistakes, your behavior. That's your control. I can't control somebody else's behavior or their words or, what they're eating. Not inside my hula hoop. So remember a hula hoop and make sure you're taking responsibility for yours. What playlist do you play? I'm not talking about music. What is playing in your head? What is the playlist that we listen to? Our inner voice telling us. You make a mistake, and are you just saying, you're so stupid, you're just an idiot? You need to stop. If you've got a negative playlist going, tell yourself, stop. And start re-recording it. I made a mistake, but you know what? I'm good. I'm worthy. I'm beautiful. Whatever your playlist is, if it is not positive, we need to change that. Because if we're not tooting our own horns, especially to ourselves, nobody else is going to do it. I bought this calendar, my 2023 calendar, and I did not realize that in the back of it are ways to self-care. I was very surprised when I flipped it. It gives you 24 ways to be kind to yourself. How many of us take time to be kind to ourselves? Gives 8 self-care habits, 6 ways to get unstuck, how to reach your personal goal. So it gives you suggestions. You don't have to, if you're making plans for yourself, you don't have to spend a lot of money on a journal. Buy a spiral notebook. Journal in that. If you want to buy a fancy, see if you're gonna journal. Your wellness doesn't have to cost a lot of money. So don't make it where it's not affordable. Don't use your playlist in your head to keep telling you, I can't do that. I don't have time. You do have time. We all have the same amount of time every day. We all have 24 hours. It's just how we use them and how we use that time to provide grace for ourselves. Here are some resources. Your LME MCO map. I'm pretty sure probably everybody's tired of that. Crisis lines for all the MCOs and their phone numbers. This is the standard plan of how the regions have been broken up. Their phone numbers and crisis lines for AmeriHealth, Healthy Blue, Carolina Complete. There's NC Care 360, helps you connect with those with needs to the community resources. So it's a good place to start if you're looking for resources. Here are some other resources: your Alcohol Drug Council, Recovery Communities of North Carolina, the ARC, National Alliance on Mental Illness. So some additional, your Medicaid enrollment broker, your Medicaid behavioral health and IDD tailored plan website, the ombudsman's phone number, and Medicaid email, not email, website. Nutrition services, those are free. Carolina Farm Fresh, sometimes they have coupons in there, ways that you can get fresh vegetables at the farmer's market. Center for Disease Control, Mental Health America. We put in as many resources as we can locate, just to try to help you start your process. Any questions? I'm gonna take that down. I'm gonna put my slide up. This is my email address and my phone number. If you need anything, just give me a call, email me. Were there any questions?
We don't have any questions yet, but if you have one, please put it in the Q&A.
You want to join our listserv, just go to the CNE.staff and send me an email, and we'll make sure you get on our listserv. All right. I'm going to quit sharing and let y'all. No, not new share. Oh, no. Why won't it? Oh. Have I quit sharing?
Not yet.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm technically challenged. I'm so sorry.
That's okay, Stacy. Thank you so much for all of the great information. It looks like we might have something in the Q&A there, Beth. Am I looking at that wrong?
The state CFAC tomorrow.
Yes. State TVAC is tomorrow. It's going to be at the Ashby building. Do not click on the WebEx link. We have changed to Zoom. You must register and you'll get a link. So the link for registration is already out. It should be on the agenda. And we will let you in. Anybody is welcome. Welcome to come to the Ashby building.
Okay, the next question is, any recommendations for family and friends of those who are suffering? They tend not to be able to grasp the full situation.
I think I'm gonna need a little more information. Grasp that they need to do more self-care, or grasp that they're living in some place that's unhealthy for them, because those are two totally different things. If it's self-care, start slow. Start with a small walk. if they're not doing anything for self-care, 5 minutes listening to some music, just spending time on themselves. If it's that their environment is not healthy, whether it be relationship or whether it be um, the actual environment of where they're residing, um, that you're going to have to talk with partners and see about finding a new location if that's something that needs to be done. Um, there's counseling out there if it's an abusive relationship. It's you got to start where people are. Not that maybe where you want to start at, but you have to start where they are. And it has to go slow.
So the follow-up to that is they don't seem to understand why it is hard to change. So I'm gonna guess that they are asking, if family and friends don't understand why it's hard for somebody to change their behavior if they're supporting a family member.
And once again, if it's a family member that needs to change, you're going to have to start where they are. If it's, if you have, use my father as an example. He was on dialysis. Food was highly important. That's how he showed his love. He really loved me. That's how, because he came from the Depression era, but to get him to realize that Bojangle biscuit every morning was going to kill him because his phosphorus was going to go too high, couldn't understand it. No matter what we did, he just couldn't grasp that. He couldn't understand that he could not add a half a pound of salt in everything he cooked. But that's what we'd get his labs to the right area, then they'd say, you could have one biscuit. Well, one biscuit was one biscuit a day again, which we were off and running again. So you just have to start where they are and just keep trying. And if they don't understand that you're trying to change, sometimes you just have to be hard and say, you know what, this train is leaving this depot and this is the way I'm going to be. And if you don't like it, you can get off this train, but I have to get healthy. And so my train is moving in this direction. If you would like to join me, please come on for the ride.
All right, great information, Stacy. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was just a great reminder for me that that you really need to focus on. You have all those areas, those 8 areas of wellness, and it's important to be mindful. So great information.
You're very welcome. And thank you. I will see y'all later.
All right. So Beth is going to bring up our partners slide deck, and I'm just going to share some brief information with you. We don't have too much time left, but just want to make sure we bring some points out to you. All right, so if anyone is on the call with us today that's not familiar with Partners Health Management, I just wanted to share briefly that Partners Health Management, we are an insurance plan, and we have a contract with the state of North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services to manage Medicaid and state-funded dollars and some other funding sources. So you can think of Partners as part government agency and part insurance plan. And so we don't provide direct treatment. We manage a network of providers that, what they do is ensure access to care for people who have needs in mental health, substance use disorder, and intellectual and developmental disabilities and traumatic brain injury services. So that's where we're focused right now. And as we move forward, you may have heard about the tailored plan. The tailored plan will launch in October. And when that happens, we will then be managing physical health as well as behavioral health services. We also manage Medicaid Direct right now, which is also part of behavioral health. And so if you have any questions or concerns, you can always call Member Services at 1-888-235-4673. Our goal is always to improve lives and strengthen communities by focusing on positive outcomes for our members. So our next slide shows the 14 counties that we cover. So there they are right there: Burke, Cabarrus, Catawba, Cleveland, etc. I'm not going to read them all right now. So let's go ahead and move on. Member Connect. I want to tell you briefly about our member portal, a partners member portal. It's called Member Connect. You can access this by going to the partners website at partnersbhm.org, and you're going to click on Member Connect right in the upper right hand corner there. And this is a site where our members and state funded recipients can go, Medicaid Direct, to take a look at some of their information. Beth, you want to flip to the next screen? We'll show you kind of what it looks like. So this is just a quick screen clip of what Member Connect looks like. And here, what you can access are treatment plan documents. You can find forms that you might need to fill out to select your tailored care manager or your primary care provider. You can find information about health conditions, information about state-funded services, access member handbooks and state-funded recipient handbooks, information about how to file a grievance or an appeal, just a lot of information. Super easy to navigate. So Member Connect, you can access it on our website at partnersbhm.org. In the upper right hand corner, you're just going to click on Member Connect. And so next, let me just share a little information about transitions of care. So all of these health plans that we have going on right now, we have standard plans right now. We have Medicaid Direct. We'll soon have tailored plan. We have different MCOs. We have partners and VIA and Sandhills, etc. So sometimes there's a reason to transition between health plans. One reason may be that the individual needs more services or services you can't access with the standard plan. The standard plan are those Medicaid services that are managed by 5 different commercial healthcare companies: Healthy Blue, WellCare, Carolina Complete Health. There's a few more. You may be there and you need a more intense service for your mental health or intellectual disability, substance use disorder. You can transfer them to your MCO. You also might move to another county, which will place you in an area where you need to move to another MCO, or perhaps your Medicaid status changes. For any of these, here at Partners and at the other MCOs, there's a transition of care team. And so our transition of care team helps these transitions go smoothly. You can also reach out to the Medicaid, North Carolina Medicaid enrollment broker to help you with this process. You can also talk to your healthcare provider, your current health plan, about transferring from one to another by filling out a form. And it is called a request to move form. So there's a link there on the screen to submit a form, or you can call the Medicaid enrollment broker. But I want to tell you that the most efficient way to get this process started is to really work with your current health plan, and they're going to help you get connected and move to the plan where you need to be. So now I want to share a little bit about member engagement. So member engagement, I'm proud to be a part of the member engagement team here at Partners, and our role is to help you, the members. We want to help you navigate our healthcare system. We admit it's a little bit difficult to find your way around, but that's what we're here for. We're here to help you do that, provide education, just like we're doing today. You'll also find us out of the community at different health fairs. We also provide education in other ways as well. And so that's our role, to work together with you, to help you, the member, and families to get where you need to be. We listen, we absolutely care, and we want to take action for you. So when we flip to the next screen, we're going to show you a phone number. You can give us a call. It's right there in the center of the screen, 704-884-2729. When you call this number, you're going to be able to talk to any one of us on our team. Our goal is to answer your call live. If we can't, we're going to return your call within 24 hours. And we're here to listen and help you walk through whatever you need to walk through regarding your healthcare. You can also send an email to memberquestions@partnersbhm.org, and we can correspond with you there as well. You'll also find partners on social media. So keep an eye out, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are, you may see something about partners. So next, I want to share a little bit about the Pix Health mobile app. Super excited about this app. It can help you monitor both physical and mental health, and we encourage our members to register for the Pix Health phone app. You can download this to your mobile device just by going to the site that's right there on your screen, www.hipix.com. You can also call Pix at 855-499-4777 if you have questions or need some support in downloading it. So it's really an app that focuses on daily mood and wellness check-ins. It has some fun activities to do. It has some screenings that you can take to help you know where you are. It also is connected to what we call a compassionate call center, where you can talk to peers to help you walk through some times of loneliness or depression, and kind of in that arena. So we've had a lot of members join and have had some great feedback. And right now, if you download as a member, you can earn a $10 gift card just by joining the Pix Health mobile app. So another thing that I want you to keep in mind is who to call. So if you are currently receiving services, you want to go to your provider that's providing your services. They're your first call for questions, your first responder in crisis. If you have a care manager and one that's assigned to you, you're going to want to reach out to your care manager. But if you don't have services and have general questions, you just want to reach out to member engagement, you can call that same number, 704-884-2729. But if you're in crisis, have questions, you can call our 888-235-4673. So please call that number to access information, get answers to your questions, and absolutely for crisis, you'll get connected to a clinician to support and help you. All right, our CFAC, Consumer Family Advisory Council. This is a volunteer group of members and family members that represent those who receive services and advocate and help improve our public behavioral health system. So Partner CFAC is looking for more members. If you're interested and need more information, you can send us an email at cfac@partnersbhm.org. You can give us a call at member engagement, 704-884-2729, or give Cindy Troba, our member engagement manager, a call. She is the CFAC liaison, and you can get her at 828-323-8090. And I wanted to share just a little bit of information about our member and recipient call lines. So things are changing a bit. We still have the same number we've had for a very long time, 888-235-4673. And that number is available now Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. To get your questions answered about services, etc. And then after hours, we have a crisis line. It is a new number. However, if you dial that number that I just mentioned, you still can get to the crisis line. That's going to be your first option. There's a voice menu and you're going to choose that. But if you want to call the crisis line directly, you can call our new number at 833-353-2093, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for those in crisis. And you're going to get connected to a mental health clinician. The next two numbers listed are for our nurse services and pharmacy lines. These are going to go live later in the year as we get closer to tailored plan. They both go live in September, and those are going to be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then we have a provider services line that's active now, right there at the bottom of the screen. And the 988 number, our guest speaker, Stacy mentioned that earlier. This is a suicide lifeline number, and it's available 24/7 to get information, to call in crisis. And it offers translators in Spanish and TTY for deaf and hard of hearing. And I want to remind you to stay in touch with us. Keep your contact information updated, because partners may need to contact you about your health plan. So if you receive Medicaid, you really want to contact your local Department of Social Services to update your information. They are the keeper of the information. If you receive state funds, you're not a Medicaid member, you're going to want to call into partners to make sure that we have the most up-to-date contact information for you here at Partners so we can stay in contact with you. All right. So that is all I have to share with you today. I am so glad that you chose to share your time with us today. Beth, do we have any more questions before we wrap up? Great. Okay. Well, thank you. Again, thank you to Stacy for the great information she shared with us today. And thanks to you for sharing your time with us. Again, we're here to help you. So please don't ever hesitate to call. We're always here for you. So thanks for joining us, and have a great day. Bye, everybody.